Starfield's first major update is here, and I'm gonna talk about it. I'm gonna go through all of the patch notes and then have a little discussion with all of you, so stay tuned. This is Starfield Update 1.8.86, which came out November 20th, 2023. And there's not too much to go over, but the highlights are NVIDIA DLSS support, which introduces NVIDIA DLSS support for our PC players. Compatible NVIDIA graphics cards can now use super resolution, deep learning anti-aliasing, reflex low latency, and DLSS frame generation. I don't know what basically any of that means, but I'll have some footage up so you can kind of see how things go. The game should look better on an NVIDIA graphics card overall, I guess, which is good, because I have an NVIDIA graphics card, and the game already looks pretty good. The update part that I'm most excited about is the Let Them Eat. You can now eat food when you find them in the environment, and this is the biggest part of the update for me, because honestly, food isn't very good in Starfield. Like, it's a little underwhelming. I mean, that's kind of the general reception for Starfield overall, unfortunately. But food, I found, it was like, I can't be bothered to pick it up and then go in my inventory and eat it. But having it like this makes it a good, just quick healing item when you're on the go, rather than just stocking up with a bunch of them in your inventory, which, with the very limited carry weight, isn't a smart idea. You can just be like, oh, there's some food, I need some health or whatever, or oh, this has got like an XP benefit for the next 5 minutes or whatever. Yeah, I'll quickly consume that. It's a real nice little quality of life thing, and I think it's very smart. I'm glad they've added this in. This is the best part of the update for me. And the rest of the update is fixes and improvements. So we're going to go through all the list here, starting with performance and stability. They've addressed a number of memory-related issues, added some GPU performance optimizations, improved render threading model, and various stability and performance improvements. Yeah, the game basically should just run a bit better. I feel like for me to comment on this properly, I need to play quite a bit of the game and try and see if there's a difference, but hey, hopefully should be good. For gameplay, there's the aforementioned eating the food thing. Stealth should now be a bit more forgiving, which is good, because I've played some stealth characters, and while definitely possible, it's very difficult. Like, my Ronin build came out a couple of weeks ago, I want to say, and that was stealth melee, and I never successfully cleared like an entire area while in stealth. I had to mix in speed melee into it too, which worked well, but yeah, good to see stealth being a bit more forgiving. They fixed an issue where Andresia's head would stay permanently cloaked. I've not seen that one, but it sounds quite funny. Fixed an issue that could prevent players from firing their weapons. That is one I've encountered. And yeah, it's very bad where your gun just like doesn't work. I think I found like aiming and then not aiming kind of worked for me for resetting that, but yeah, could cause issues in a firefight. Fix the issue where sometimes NPCs could be seen not wearing clothes. There's also a note that says this issue may resolve itself over time, which makes me imagine just all the characters just realising they're not wearing clothes and then slowly getting dressed. They fixed an issue where already in progress skill challenges could stop progressing after reaching the Unity and starting a new game. That I'd heard about but not experienced because I've not done too much New Game Plus, but very good for those of you trying to like shoot for all of them. Fixed an issue that could temporarily prevent opening the inventory or saving after entering the Unity. Yeah, there seem to be quite a few problems after entering the Unity, and they've been on it. They fixed an issue where mouse movement on PC could be choppy, which yes, I had quite a bit, and was annoying. Like, it didn't happen often, but I basically just like lost a second where my character would just freeze and then turn to where I'd moved them. They fixed a rare issue that could cause the home ship to be lost. That's not a good one. And fixed an issue where the ship service technician might be missing. Literally just the other day I had this happen for the first time, where it actually impacted me and it was very irritating. So glad that's sorted. And final gameplay fix is an issue where occasionally the camera could shake incorrectly during like space stuff, which yeah, could be kind of annoying. But yeah, some solid little gameplay fixes there. For graphical fixes, they've addressed an issue with how ambient occlusion appeared in ultra-wide resolutions. Yeah, you moneybags with your fancy monitors are getting stuff sorted for you. They've optimised initial shader compilation that occurs on startup. Should just mean that the game boots slightly quicker. I've had a few times where it's done like, oh, installing shaders or whatever, so that should be faster. A couple of big ones here added the ability to adjust brightness and contrast in the display settings menu. This one I will kind of show off a bit, because yeah, that's actually something pretty cool. This is probably my second most favourite thing from the update, because now we can make the game like a bit brighter, a bit darker. I typically like to play in higher contrast, so yeah, I'm down with that. They've also added the ability to adjust HDR brightness, provided that the system supports it, so yeah, apparently Xbox and Windows 11 only. We'll see how that goes. Addressed a number of materials that could sometimes present an unintended pattern under certain conditions. That is just such a mysterious note. I don't know what that means. They've also fixed various visual issues related to the FOV slider options. So we got the FOV slider in a previous update, which is good. That was the biggest update we'd had so far before this one. And apparently there were some issues with it. Can't say I've noticed them. And improve the appearance of the eyes on crowd characters. I really hope that works with a player character as well, because so often my characters ended up like cross-eyed or trying to look at their own brain or something weird, and it kind of makes it difficult to get like nice pictures of them. Addressed a number of minor visual issues relating to lighting, shadows, terrain, vegetation, bit generic, and on PC, addressed additional visual issues related to DLSS. Yeah, the thing they've just added, they've already addressed issues for, because this was in beta for a little bit. And finally, we've got the quest fixes, which is probably going to be the big one for those of you who are like, the game's broken, I can't play it, because there were a handful of bugs that could pop up. So in All That Money Could Buy, they fixed a rare issue where players couldn't sit during the negotiation with Musgrove, considering that's a main quest one. That's pretty important to have that work. Blast Zone fixed an issue where the hard rocks that need to be cleared out by players will not appear on, I'm going to mess up this name, Ungodop Tate's land. Definitely said that wrong, my apologies. I also don't think I've done that quest, or if I have, I've forgotten about it. Echoes of the Past fixed an issue where the Grillo Bar Queen could sometimes not be reachable during the objective Secure the Shuttle Bay. You don't actually have to hear that get said at all in the game, so yeah, no idea about pronunciation. Eye of the Storm fixed an issue where players' quest progression could potentially be blocked due to a missing docking prompt. Yep, once again, not helpful. Gruntwork addressed an issue where progress could appear blocked if Super Air Ultra was completed while returning to the lodge during High Price to Pay. That very much sounds like someone just happened to stumble across like the specific set of things that stopped it, but it's good that's been fixed. No Sudden Moves fixed an issue that could prevent the entrance door to the scout ship from being opened again. Operation Starseed fixed an issue where the key that is needed to exit the facility could sometimes not be present. Yeah, definitely not helpful. Sabotage fixed an issue where David Barron could potentially not be found by players via good old disappearing NPCs. Short-Sighted fixed an issue where players could rarely become control-locked while speaking with Vladimir. And finally, the Heart of Mars fixed an issues where players might not be able to mine the Heart of Mars. So yeah, a bunch of quest fixes. If you'd been stuck on any of those quests, hopefully that's now sorted for you, and just some overall little improvements here. And yeah, that's it for the update. And yes, this is the first big update still. It's like 1.8.86. This is like... I think the general opinion here is that it's a little underwhelming, but I think that's because Starfield has like a few problems which need to be fixed. And it's not just the bugs and stuff, that's sensible. In fact, I would describe this update as sensible but not exciting. They fixed a bunch of little problems, got some quest fixes, made some optimizations here and there. It's sensible stuff. The only and then there's a bit of quality of life as well, I suppose, is the other part with brightness, contrast, eating the food. It's not changing the game, but it's just fixing the odd thing here and there, making it a little bit better. Honestly, this update won't change your opinion about the game overall, and that's a bit of a shame, because I feel like Starfield it's viewed negatively by default, because a lot of people don't view it positively. And the internet, by and large, is not good at neutral. Being, oh, this game isn't as good as I thought it was, but it's still good. That isn't what the internet does. The internet goes, oh, this game isn't as good as I hoped it was. Shame it's the worst thing ever, and I now have to post about it 20 times a day about how much it sucks. You know, we've all been online, we know what it's like. So yeah, honestly, I don't think this update's super exciting, but I do think it's necessary. And what I'm hoping for is, with the fact this is 1.8 we're on already, and high into the 1.8s, but at some point we'll get a 2.0 update, which will introduce some proper, solid gameplay changes. And I'm going to be talking about that in a video later this week, probably in a couple of days I'm going to say, because there's a bunch of stuff that I think Starfield needs to change, and which they could change in a patch to make the game just so much better. Because things like outposts, the loot system, player eyes are still in my head. But yeah, those two specifically, outposts and the loot system, I feel like those need to change a bit. Especially outposts, which are just so not player friendly right now. So I'm going to be talking about them in a video in 2 or 3 days' time. Do subscribe if you want to check out my thoughts on that. And let me know in the comments below what your feelings are towards this update. Are you happy it's here? Have you played around with it? Do let me know. And yep, plenty more Starfield content to come, so keep on watching. As always, thanks for watching. Sarge out.